Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Force for Growth Live. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Courtney. And happy Monday. What's going on today?
Woo!
Word of
What
the
is going
week.
on? It's Monday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy
Yes.
Monday.
Happy
Is it our
Monday.
second? Oh, I didn't check it before we went live. I'm going to check that. Is it our second to the last one for the month? But
Yes.
we're
It
dwindling
is.
it down. It's, yeah, it's our, yep, we got one more. So, how can you make this Monday, the second to the last Monday of 2020, better than you could even believe? So,
Ooh,
figure
great
that out
question.
today and then do that.
Great
Yes.
question. What's going on today, ladies?
We have our word of the week. Okay, so our word of the week we select each morning on Monday on our 6 a.m. calls by pulling a Do 52 stick that is stamped with a verb. And Do 52 is a simple but powerful toolkit designed by House of Shine to prompt us weekly to do things mindfully and to open ourselves up to new ideas. So this week it's perfect because our word is expand. So when
Yes.
we think we pushed it as far as we can, reminder, you can still push it farther. So,
Yes.
what you got, Michelle?
Okay. So the definition of expand, the verb, is to open up, to increase the extent, number, volume, or scope of, to express at length or in greater detail, to write out in full, to subject to mathematical expansion, and
Mm,
to open out as well.
Mm.
So, what does that bring up for you guys? I'm going to say, Courtney, with what you said, it's expand like your expand your capabilities. So, you said when you think you can't go further, you can. That example of, let me just see you guys do this right now. Raise your hand as high as you possibly can, as high as you possibly can. Now raise it higher. See,
Yeah.
you can always go further.
you can always go further.
Yeah.
Even when you think you can't, you can do just a little bit more.
Hmm.
Expand that reach, literally
Yeah.
and metaphorically.
Yeah. Expand the love, expand the courage, like you literally can dial up and it's a mental exercise, but whatever you want to dial up or turn up, just literally visualize it, turn the knob in your head, and then go for it. And it actually works. I don't know if that's strictly NLP or what, but like it's that simple where if you literally plug in and pay attention and say, I'm going to expand this, the cells in your body do their best to support you. So if you learn to work with that and channel that, I mean, it's just amazing, right?
Mm.
Oh,
Expand yourself out of your comfort zone.
that is a big
Yes,
one.
Don't be so
definitely.
constricted in a little ball. Expand yourself out of your comfort zone. I've seen a lot of people be so excited for next week because it's 2021, like it's going to be a magic light switch because it's 2021. So 2020 is going to be so behind us because it was such an awful year and it brought so many challenges and so much of this and so much of that. Mm, no,
Yeah.
we're still going to have some challenges in 2021. January 1st, 2021 is not a light switch that's going to turn everything around. However, you can choose to turn everything around today, but you have to choose to do so.
Yep. Yep. And you talked about choosing just now. And so Jesse just said, if you always say no, expand yourself to start saying yes. So that's a great trick. But that leads me to my question. Why is it important to expand? Why is this so important to us right now in this time of the world?
I
Well, if
think
we go ahead, Michelle.
okay, if you're either expanding or you're contracting. You're either growing or you're going backwards. And so you have to make a decision. It's that choice that Ricardo said. Make a decision to expand because otherwise you're going to go backwards because you're losing time. Every minute that ticks by, you're losing time. So if you're not expanding or growing, you are not staying the same, you're going backwards.
Yeah, I love
Correct.
that. And one of my favorite metaphors that we hear often is the garden and the weeds. Weeds will grow naturally. So if you don't already have a system in place to pluck the weeds, they'll take your garden, and that's fact. That's not, oh, what did I do to deserve these weeds overtaking my garden? No, it's you're human. You're here. You're going to have to deal with these things. So it's just adding that flip to the word expansion. But it's such an empowering way that y'all are teaching me to see it between our chat this morning and now. It's just, when you take on the role of expansion, you remind yourself you have the power. So it takes all that, oh, I'm helpless, I can't do anything. It takes all that away. So if you just focus on expansion, focus on progress, we're saying the same thing there, then that actually gets you to happiness in the moment. Whereas if you hold off for happiness until you get to a certain point, oh, if I expand here, then I'll finally allow myself to have these feelings. Stop
Mm.
constricting yourself.
It's painful when you are so, like, imagine yourself being constricted in a little box and you're continuing to grow inside of this little box. It's going to start to hurt. It's going to be painful. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to hurt a little bit because you're still trying to fit in this little box until you expand so far that you break through the box.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel great. And then you feel free. And then you're in another box that's bigger than the box you were in before. And the process starts all over again.
But how does that feel when you finally can stretch out your limbs and finally, like, just feel that expansion? Like, that's a feeling that you can't replicate. You cannot replicate, but you can make it happen often in baby steps.
Yeah. But you always have to expand. You always have to grow. And there's going to be a little point there where you get what? Comfortable. You get comfortable in the new, bigger box because now you can stretch out and you feel like, oh, I've made it. Oh, I'm comfortable now. I'm better than where I was because I'm not constricted anymore, but yet I'm in another little box. And maybe you don't even realize you're still in another box, but you have to continue to grow and break out of that box.
I see that the comfort zone getting comfortable a lot in my business because I teach, I'm coaching people to lose weight or to get healthy, and they get really close to their goal weight and then they get comfortable. I see it all the time. I did it myself, so I get it. When I was losing my weight, I got comfortable and I hadn't gotten quite to that goal weight yet, but people get comfortable and then they relax and then they stop expanding. They stop pressing forward and then they get frustrated, create that leverage, and then they set a goal and get to their goal weight, which is exactly what I did. But it's like you get close to a goal and then you get comfortable and you let off the gas. I see
But
that a
that's
lot.
nature, though. That's natural. Think about everything that expands. Think about something that I can't even think of anything
A
because there's so many
balloon.
things out there. It expands, it expands, and expands, and then once it expands so far, then it relaxes.
Yeah, a balloon is a great example.
Yes,
It takes a lot of energy for that balloon to just push past that barrier of when it starts to inflate. But once that it kind of hits, there's a spot, a sweet spot that it hits, and then it's just like calm, But
correct.
before that, it's like forceful.
And then it makes room to expand some more.
Yes.
But there's always that relaxation / comfort after a period of expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens everywhere. That happens in life. That happens with us. That happens with balloons. That happens in other areas. If you look for it now, where things expand, then they relax. And then they expand some more. And then they can expand further the second time. And then further the third time. But there's always a relaxation / comfort there after that initial stage of expansion.
Yes.
Okay, so was that where Relentless Ricardo was born? And the reason I asked that is because my brain kind of trailed off where it's like, okay, you got to, if it's dangerous to stay comfortable, we got to learn to recognize when we're comfortable, and maybe not change it right away, but shift it so you keep growing, you keep expanding. But then I thought about you and I was like, and here's Ricardo who's like, oh my goodness, this thing will challenge me. I must do this. So do you go through your day turning up what's comfortable so that it's not quite comfortable? Or do you just naturally notice like, oh, I'm comfortable, I need to shift here?
Courtney, that's such a great question. But let me tell you, I am the king of relaxation. Man, when I expand, and then it's like it gets so tight and you feel it, especially for guys. I don't think ladies feel the same way, but you feel that tension and that growth and that expansion. And then all of a sudden it's like you're flexing and flexing and flexing and lifting the weight. And then once you're done, and that's that relaxation where I lounge around the house for a day or two or three doing nothing and then get right back on it. Lifting the weight, lifting, expanding stress, expansion, and relax.
Hmm.
I enjoy the relaxation. You got to relax. You got to
do.
rest.
Rest is important. Definitely.
Rest.
Ryan?
Rest, don't quit. There's
Yeah,
a big
right.
difference.
Yes.
You can take a break, but you do not quit. You do not stop thinking about it. You don't give up. You rest.
I've
Keep the
also heard,
length of your break in check.
yeah, and I do forget who said it, but basically, like if you need to, somebody has a famous quote that if you need to take a break, take tomorrow off. Don't stop now. Like
Correct.
you finish today, and then you take tomorrow off. You honor your break. You really do it, but don't you dare stop right now in this moment. Then you're quitting. Where if you plan a day off, you're planning a day off. If you quit, you quit. It's really simple.
It's a
Ryan?
mind trick. It's a Jedi mind trick because when you think about just resting, it feels so much easier than quitting. But here's the trap. If you rest too much, it's a little bit harder to get back cranking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You lose momentum. Ryan
Yep.
says, my dad has told me a number of times, if you want what you've never had, you're going to have to do what you've never done. That's expand for me.
That is.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's a great self-development definition of expanding. You have to get out there. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to feel it. You have to feel that vibe and push yourself just a little bit more. And David Goggins, my guy, David Goggins, there's always more in the tank. There's at least 40% more there after you think you've done it all.
You're a great example of that. Yeah. Jesse kind of, well, I call it bragging on you, but basically she said, yeah, Ricardo realizes when he is comfortable and pushes past it. And also when he sees something that others say is hard, he will crush it. Yeah. And I think we all see
Yeah.
that. But it's a
Oh,
great example of the universe can only expand through you. It can't expand and you help contribute to the world while you're sitting on your couch eating bonbons. Like that's not going to happen. So it's really eye-opening when you realize, oh, when my heart feels like it's expanding, when I have a Grinch moment that's like, oh, my heart grew another size today, or whatever's going on, you're actually helping the world. So like when you bring that back home and really sit with it and understand that when you go through that, you're helping the world grow, or you'll recognize a moment at some point, that because you've been through that, because you've allowed yourself to go there. So it all comes around, and not to get on a woo woo like lovey dovey, but we are all one. And so when you just keep that in the forefront, that when you grow, you push yourself, you're actually helping the world. Like it
mm,
makes it a lot. It takes the pressure off. You might be doing this alone, but you're not in this alone.
mm,
That goes back to Ricardo's question from the very beginning when he said, why is it important to expand? That right there is why it's important to expand, because of contribution. If we don't expand, we don't contribute, we don't help others. And I think that's the ultimate success, I guess, or the ultimate feeling of success that we can get is when we're really making a difference, not just for ourselves, but for others, whether it's family or friends or the world as a whole or what. That, if we don't expand, we're not making an impact.
Oh, you just
powerful points.
yeah. So that just kind of hit me upside the head. If you're not expanding, are you truly able to be fulfilled?
No,
No.
Not at all.
not at all. No, no. Because again, once if you don't expand, you're going to stay so restricted and confined, and there's no fulfillment in being restricted and confined.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
There's no joy in that.
No.
What kind of fun is that? I will say this real quick. I want to circle back to Jesse's comment where she says, he sees something that others say is hard, he will crush it. That's a curse. That's like that's like the curse that the wicked witch, like on the Disney cartoons, put on me, that I have learned to deal with, because it's gotten me in a lot of trouble. Because I'll see some, what, did you see this? Did you see so and so say how hard that was? Hold my beer. Hold on. And then here I am, 18 months later, still at it. Because I'm like, damn it.
It was hard.
It was hard.
Yeah.
But I would never let them see it. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. We're gonna do it, we're gonna crush it. But it's like, yeah, hold my beer. Let me do this real quick. And that real quick thing turns into 6 years later, real quick.
Right. We're very
So-
grateful for your 6 years of
So yeah, but it's a curse. But I learned to deal with it. But I try to not to have so many more hold my beer moments where I'm like, yeah, they say it's hard. Hold my beer. Yeah.
I want to go back to a part of our 6 a.m. call this morning where Courtney asked the question, what have you done to expand that has had an impact on your life or others' lives? And I'll give mine, and then I want to know the answer from you guys. But mine was UPW ticket. I almost sold it. I almost did not go to UPW, and I was going to sell my ticket, which I found out this morning that I wouldn't have gotten what I wanted for it anyway.
a
But
year and a half after the event, she
Yes.
found out. So yay, we
but I
won.
thought very seriously about selling that ticket. And if I had sold that ticket, I would not know Courtney and Ricardo. I would not have this amazing Firewalker family that I have now. I've made so many friends that have so impacted my life. And what we talked about this morning, that one tiny little decision to hold on to that ticket and go to UPW literally transformed the whole trajectory of my life. And I've grown so much in the last year and a half since I went to UPW. So pay attention to the little decisions, because even something that seems like such a minute, tiny decision can have a profound impact on your life. So what have you guys done to expand? What's an example in your lives?
I would have to say my UPW ticket in 2014, but it was your story that really brought that back home and gave me appreciation for thinking back through the last 6 years as to what that's gifted me. But to give a very a more recent example, switching jobs. Like I went from an exclusive agency with one carrier. I'm an insurance, by the way. I'm insurance badass, by the way. If you're in Texas, you need help with anything. But
Shameless plug.
basically, okay. So, and then I switched to an independent agency, which if you're in the world of insurance, that is, I mean, night and day, however, it felt so right. And it still feels so right. And, my actual abilities in this career are being revealed to myself. And I found I don't know, the whole contributing to an agency and them contributing to you, and that give and take whenever it's happening like it should. And in the way that it fills you both up. So that's something I definitely didn't see what it would give me over the year. I just was like, maybe I'll be happier at this job. I'll give it a try. I'll make that promise to myself. I'll give it a try. And it's just opened up so much more. I can't even go through it all here unless we're here a few hours. But yeah, so just jump and try. You can always go back home. What's that Bon Jovi song? Who says you can't go back home? Like, just figure it out. Try it. We'll come pick you up if it all breaks down, but try.
AAA. If you need some help getting picked back up, give us a call. We'll be there.
I saw those policies too. Yeah.
555-1212. Again, that's 555-1212.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? For me, me and Jesse were talking about this the other day, and we were talking about how proud we were that we expanded the Baskets for Good program. And that was another hold my beer type of things where people were saying, this is the way that it had to be. This is the way that it had to be done. This is where it's going to max out at. What? Nah, we could grow this a lot bigger. Hold my beer. 5 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me what I can and can't do. And it's like, okay, we're gonna crank it up and we're gonna get it done, and I'm gonna show you what's possible. But again, that good comes with the bad. There's a whole other dark side to that. But this is an example of a nice one that turned out really well. And we're looking to expand it even further next year, even more next year, and expand it even further to make a bigger impact. Just wait and see.
And the amazing thing about that is that little challenge in a moment and that decision to expand is feeding families. It's feeding families that are hungry. That's amazing.
It's making a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We sponsored 60 kids for Christmas this year, and 5 families, I think 5 families got another week's worth of groceries. No, 10 families got another week's worth of groceries. It was 10 families.
That's amazing.
So 60 kids and 10 families this year for Christmas.
I'm sure they appreciated the Santa. I really love that the actual Santa costume's been incorporated now as an annual tradition, but that's amazing. And just thank you to you guys for expanding the basket mission and allowing us to be a part of it too.
Yes.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I trust
I just say that right now.
Oh, I do believe you.
More big things are coming across the horizon. I see it clearly.
I so want to make a t-shirt, Michelle, that's like Ricardo Leon, hold my beer, but I'll find a better quote to put on there that's more concise. But yeah, just know, brainstorming.
It's coming.
Oh, if y'all only knew the times where that came back and bit me in the behind. But I will say this. Here's the thing. When you step up and take that challenge and expand yourself, you will get bit in the butt more times than you don't. But the times that it does work out are way bigger impact that surpass all of the times that don't combined.
Yeah, you got to keep getting up. Keep getting up. You get knocked down, get back up. Get knocked down, get back up. And sooner or later, you're going to hit that expansion that makes a huge difference in your life and or the lives of others.
Yeah. You got to keep pushing.
Worth the squeeze.
Yes.
Say that again, Courtney.
The juice is worth the squeeze.
Yes.
But you know, you have to go through some stuff to get that juice. Okay. Like it is what it is, guys.
It is. Man.
Ryan says, Ricardo today. Jedi mind trick. Hold my beer. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Right.
Hey man, that's how we roll up in here, man. Like, ain't nobody got no time for excuses. Let's just go. Let's just go do this and be done with it.
You want real relentless Ricardo on your hiney, you give him an excuse.
Like, what?
That's definitely a hold my beer moment.
That ain't no excuse.
But his Jedi mind trick is, but is that true? Is that really true? How does that make you feel? So these are all questions that, yes, I'm kind of teasing my friend right now, but like you can absolutely ask yourself in the moment. So you have this thought, Michelle Martini, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't feel right. Something ain't right in your body. Okay. Is that true? Is that really true? How does that make me feel? Who would I be without that thought? A lot of these are Byron Katie reference questions, by the way. We love you, Byron. So you need to flip it. Like you don't like cower down and be like, oh, today I'm not going to expand. Today I'm not going to be a progress. I'm not going to be a force for growth. No, you wake up today that's saying, today is going to have some hard things on the list. It's probably going to have some decent things and some amazing things on the list. Knock it out. And that's how you stack these days after days where you're charging after it, knowing it's hard. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know who told you life would be easy, but stop. It's not. We're here to support you, and just really having that faith in yourself takes it to a whole new level. So whatever you have to do to get there, keep going, keep going.
I'm going to go back to something I said. It was an experience I had, but I said on a previous show, when you ask if you have a mirror available, you don't always, but when you ask yourself that question, is that true? Look yourself in the eyes in the mirror, because it's really hard to look someone in the eyes and lie. And so when you look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and ask yourself, is that true? You're going to see the truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This was a great episode, ladies. Man, word of the week, expand.
Great
How
word.
can you go ahead?
So Jesse, you just dropped a bomb this morning that I loved, but what I wrote down was burn the scorecard. But
Yeah.
Jesse, you gave a great example that I forget the actual, and it doesn't matter because it was a relationship example between you and Ricardo. But you just were like, "I'm just done with the scorecard. Like I'm done." So burn the scorecard. I don't know if that resonates with anyone as much as it does with me. But and then also you talked about we apologize too much, but not enough. So we're maybe too much in the day to day. We're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and we apologize for being who we are when we shouldn't. Are you truly apologizing for the things you should? Lay them to rest. Make sure that person knows how you feel now. And maybe that's the expansion you need is those two tips. So I wanted to share that and that expansion can be just laying down the BS too,
Mm.
burying it. And it's put it in the fire, put it where it belongs. Okay. But feel the feelings so they don't come back again because it's an unlearned lesson.
And
Yeah.
there's no better time to apply that, Courtney, than right now, Christmas week.
Mhm.
Perfect time to apply that skill.
Yes. And thank you, Jesse, for that message this morning.
Perfect episode. Perfect episode. Whew. I'm fired up, ladies.
Yes.
But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. All right. So that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Expand your mind, expand your horizon, expand your ability, expand out of your comfort zone. So much to expand. Be a force for good, be a force for growth.
Yeah. Forceforgrowth.com. If you have missed any episodes ever and you would like to catch them all in one spot, you can go to forceforgrowth.com and catch us on each individual platform. But just go check us out. And while you're cleaning the house, getting ready for family to come over or whatever, it's great listening in the background, I do have to say. So,
I done hit my table and my snuckle, but yes, I cannot emphasize that enough. Whew. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, and we'll be back on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.